Hello and welcome to VideoNet's IBC interviews. I'm Barry Flynn, and with me I have Tom Munro, CEO of Verimatrix, a company which specializes in securing and enhancing revenues for digital TV services across multiple screens and networks. Tom, welcome.
Well, good to be here, Barry.
This year at IBC you're featuring your new Verspective Intelligence Center, which is a cloud-based management system that includes an analytics engine and a whole lot else besides. Can you explain what the system does and what led you to create it?
The problem we're trying to solve for the industry, Barry, is that there's a lot of disparate enterprise platforms that have been set out, but they're not well monitored. The telemetry is not good. They're difficult to manage, and particularly as network architectures evolve towards software-defined networking and cloud-based and subscription-based models, a new level of sophistication is required. So what we've done is interconnect the head ends of hundreds of pay TV operators into a global platform, and then use the security systems that we've created between the global head ends and their client devices as a system for the secure and private collection of relevant analytic information, to both monitor those systems so that they can be managed more efficiently, and to gather information about how content is used, where it's used, by whom, to drive content purchasing decisions and network optimization decisions and advertising sale decisions and so forth.
Right, so you're sort of combining a whole lot of disparate back-end subscription office systems, aren't you, about how consumers behave?
We are. We're trying to put operators in a position to be able to have real-time analytic information about how their networks are behaving and how their content's being used.
Mm-hmm. Right. That sounds like the most enormous amount of data, but we'll leave that for another time. You're also featuring a MultiDRM solution, Verimatrix Multi-Rights. Are operators always going to be needing that type of multi-purpose system, do you think? Or might there come a happy day where everybody sat down and agreed on a common system that might make this redundant?
Well, there certainly are some trends in favor of simplicity. The trends may or may not survive and prevail. We see things like common encryption formats and the trend towards Dash, but we see resistance and we see proprietary interests or parochial interests being defended. So certainly if I take a look at just internet DRMs today, I would say there are vertical silos being staked out by partners or parties like Microsoft on the one hand versus Google on another. Perhaps Adobe and Amazon or Apple might have their own vision of an end-to-end future. But from the point of view of a service provider, you don't want to be captive to one of those verticals. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to deliver and reach your consumers on whichever device and whatever platform and whatever security solution they might use. So what we've tried to do with multi-rights is span all of those solutions in a way that's seamless from the point of view of the operator and from the point of view of the consumer.
Right. I see that the latest version of VCAS Ultra secures UHD content and also integrates your VideoMark watermarking technology. Strikes me that Movie Labs compliance and watermarking are already part of a trend at IBC this year. Do you see it that way?
We do. I think the Movie Labs guidelines have certainly given a lot of clarity to people that are making at least 4K planning decisions or UHD planning decisions. So we know that there's a safe harbor. If you do all those things, you'll certainly be compliant. And we've seen a very active uptake in terms of our customer base of exactly that set of enhanced security and forensic watermarking combinations.
And why watermarking all of a sudden? Is it something that's come in tandem with the Movie Labs requirement? Is it spawned by that, or was it already developing in the background?
Well, watermarking's been around for a long time, but the threat that's really that it was designed to address is increasing, and that's the redistribution of content. In the old world, bad guys stole the keys and sold a key sharing service online. In the new world, they simply post a video on the web and sell Google ads alongside it. And the revenue model has changed for that. So you need to be actively able to identify and eliminate that source of redistribution, and watermarking is certainly one of the leading tools to do that.
And what about the next 12 months for Verimatrix? Are there any other early trends that you're detecting at this stage about what's going to happen in the next year?
Well, we think the analytics part of the Perspective Intelligence Center is really interesting. As you know, we announced yesterday an acquisition. We bought a business unit from Concurrent Computing related to multi-screen video analytics. And you'll see some partnership announcements from us at IBC related to other parties that have analytics engines that solve particular problems, recommendation engines, for example, or network quality of service and quality of experience. And we think that evolution is happening very quickly. It's partly driven by the increasing use of unmanaged networks and third-party networks to deliver video, and therefore the old instrumentation doesn't apply, and then it doesn't apply across networks, which many operators are faced with today. So we think that's an important evolution, and we do think the next 12 months will be critical for it.
Is there an issue, a regulatory issue involved in combining all these different data sets, or are regulators satisfied that the right protections are in place to?
Well, it's an evolving landscape, and it's a regional landscape. So what we're seeing is it's certainly these are not problems that have been solved. They're critical problems, and ones that we think can be addressed best by someone who's an expert in the domain and
Sure.
specifically addresses it. In other words, do you want to take the risk of a homegrown solution that may cross the boundaries, or do you want to adopt a solution that's been vetted and approved and clearly conforms to the standards? Because these do create important risks for operators in terms of the breach of private information, for example. So for us, it's build one system that meets the rules, abide by those rules, make sure the operator's information and the consumer's information is protected. Excuse me.
Okay, thanks very much, Tom. We're out of time now. Thanks for sparing the time, and I hope the show's a successful one for you. And thanks to you, the audience, for watching this video in the VideoNet IBC 2015 series. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.